Jai Hind. Welcome to GS NEXUS Current Affairs series. In today's session, we will have a brief overview on World Environment Day. Beginning with the news, the United Nations has celebrated World Environment Day annually on 5th June. The day encourages worldwide awareness and action for the protection of environment. The United Nations Environment Programme organizes events for the World Environment Day. In 2025, the World Environment Day has focused on ending plastic pollution, and this global celebration was hosted by the Republic of Korea. Now, let's know about its perspectives. Recent research has suggested that microplastics are now in almost everything that exists on the earth, including the human brain. It was started in 1973 and is led by the United Nations Environment Programme. Over the years, the day has become symbolic of efforts related to safeguarding our environment, and millions of people around the world participate in the festivities to raise environmental awareness. Let's now take a look at environmental issues of global significance such as ozone layer depletion, global warming, loss of biodiversity, and so on. Some of the major issues are: first, global warming from fossil fuels. 2024 was recently confirmed as the hottest year in the history, with a global average temperature of 0.12 degrees Celsius above 2023, which was the previous warmest calendar year on record. The global average temperatures was 1.6 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, making it also the first calendar year that has reached more than 1.5 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial level. Second is ozone, that is highly reactive and easily broken down by man-made chlorine and bromine compounds. The ozone depletion process begins when chlorofluorocarbons, which are used in refrigerator and air conditioners, and other ozone-depleting substances are emitted into the atmosphere. Third is carbon dioxide, which is one of the key greenhouse gases causing global warming. Some greenhouse gases occur naturally in the atmosphere, while others result from human activities. Fourth is naturally occurring greenhouse gases, which includes water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and ozone. Carbon dioxide is released to the atmosphere when solid waste, fossil fuels, and wood products are burned. Methane is emitted during the production and transport of coal, natural gas, and oil. Methane emissions also result from the decomposition of organic waste in municipal solid waste landfills and the raising of livestock. Nitrous oxide is emitted during agriculture and industrial activities, as well as during combustion of solid waste and fossil fuels. Fifth is global warming implications, that is, rise in global temperature, rise in sea level, food shortages and hunger, and this could lead India at more risk than other countries. Moving forward, let's focus on climate change problem and how it is being responded. Firstly, in June 1992, the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change was signed in Rio de Janeiro by over 150 nations. The deciding body of the Climate Convention is the Conference of Parties. The first COP was held in Berlin, Germany in 1995, and the latest COP10 was held in December 2004 in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Second, the Kyoto Protocol. Negotiations on the Kyoto Protocol to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change were completed on December 11, 1997, committing that the industrialized nations to specify legally binding reductions in emissions of 6 greenhouse gases. Third, the Paris Agreement. It is a legally binding international treaty on climate change. It was adopted by 195 parties at the United Nations Climate Change Conference in Paris, France on 12 December 2015. It entered into force on 4th November 2016. Let's now focus on India's initiative to address the climate change. First is the National Action Plan on Climate Change. This was launched in 2008, which includes 8 national missions addressing various aspects of climate change such as renewable energy, energy efficiency, sustainable agriculture, and water management. Second is, India has set ambitious targets for renewable energy capacity, aiming to generate 50% of its electricity from renewable sources by 2030 and reaching 500 gigawatt non-fossil energy capacity. Third is, nationally determined contributions. India's nationally determined contributions are its commitments to reduce greenhouse gas emissions outlined in the Paris Agreement. India submitted its first NDC in 2015 and updated it in 2022. Fourth, net zero target. India announced its net zero target for 2070 at the 26th session of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change in November 2021. Another initiative is the National Clean Air Program, launched by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change in 2019. It focuses on improving air quality in 131 cities with the goal of reducing PM10 pollution by 20 to 30% by 2024-25 and up to 40% or achieving national standards by 2025-26. Next is Panchamrit, that is 5 nectar elements. India's action plan against climate change announced at COP26 includes targets for non-fossil energy capacity, renewable energy share, carbon emission reduction and carbon intensity reduction. Another one is the National Green Hydrogen Mission, which was launched by the Government of India on January 4, 2023. It targets a production capacity of 5 million metric tons per annum of green hydrogen by 2030. It also aims for an associated renewable energy capacity of 135 gigawatt by 2030. That's all for today. For more such informative videos, stay connected with GS Nexus and subscribe the channel.